Hello, everyone. It's Yogi here. I hope you're well and happy Saturday. I hope you've all been keeping well. And we got kicked out the other day. Didn't we? We got issues with broadband and we got kicked out and we tried to come in. The second time we got kicked out again. Wonderful. And today, hopefully, it's going to be fine. And I checked the status of my, of my broadband just before the stream. So far, so good. You never know. But we've been here before, so you know what to do. And we always try to come back. If we get kicked out again, we'll just come back the next day, right? So I hope you're well. And yes, Saturday is Amiee Stewart SAL, and I hope you're armed with an Aimee piece today to stitch with me. If not, that's quite okay too. We have side door. We're very forgiving when it comes to SAL. Okay, it's all freestyling here, and you can come through the roof, side doors, back door. You know how well maybe there's a pothole somewhere that you can come up, and everybody's welcome. So we're here to stitch together, okay, and chat, and I miss you guys. And today, oh, it's been a little bit with this piece, and traveling library, and quite a few of you probably stitching this piece as well. And I just checked when I started this one because I keep forgetting. It's been 10 months. It's been 10 months with this piece, and you're looking at majority of my stitches here. And so this piece, let me show you the markup, okay, just in case. We have new joiners as well every single time. So let me show you what I'm stitching today, okay? And let's have a look. This is it. And this is by Aimee Stewart. If you don't know who she is, seriously, go check out her catalog. She's got a vast library of patterns on heaven and earth. And it's a website, just in case you don't know. It's a website. They do a lot of patterns, okay? They chart beautiful artwork. And so this is by Aimee Stewart, one of our favorite artists. That's why we dedicate every Sunday to her pieces. And so I started this piece, I think sometime, maybe October, sometime, 10 months ago. I can't believe it. And I felt like I've just started, literally. And this piece, I think we did a marathon, didn't we? Every time we start a sort of epic new piece, we do a marathon. And so we did a marathon, and I kind of just, stitch from time to time along with many other pieces, but I absolutely love it. Just look at this piece, it's just so beautiful. And this is a view of from a caravan. So as you come in to, climb into a caravan, I've never been in one, so I'm just imagining it. And this is the view you're looking at. And the far end, there's a beautiful bear there. Just look at the textile and everything. And within the space, it's just gorgeous, gorgeous. And I think this is definitely Aimee Stewart's, one of Aimee Stewart's best pieces. She's got many classic pieces, and some of you are stitching as well, and but this one really is up there. And we love that beautiful fox as well, and I've got matching needle minder today with the little fox here. And everywhere you go, everywhere you turn on this piece, it's just full of actions. It's really beautiful. So let's have a look, okay? A reality check here. This is pretty much the entirety of my stitched area here. So I started from, let me zoom way out, okay? I started from the top, but not from the corners. I started from the middle. For some reason, it just makes sense to me. And so my plan was to travel downwards and just stitch whatever I wanted. That was the plan. Today, the plan is changing a little bit, okay? And I'll share with you in a bit. But this is how I got here. I just moved down and just land wherever I wanted. A little bit like a magic caravan, isn't it? You just, go wherever you want and just stop for a little bit and just keep going and in your own timing. So this is where I am. Let me show you my progress up to this point. So the grand total of percentage that I've done so far is 2.62%. I mean, this is a regular size and max color. And so this is my progress so far after 10 months, okay? If you think you're slow, try harder, okay? This is Yogi standard, okay? And the number of colors, so this is a max color. So it's got 239 colors. So, and quite a lot of colors. But to be honest, this piece so far anyway, and the little bit I've stitched is not the most confetti piece I've come across. So it's, it depends on the area, it's not too bad. So I'm going to start a sprint right here in front of you. So I'm doing it in chat, okay? Sometimes I forget, but today, it's our Saturday SAL, I remember. So here we go. Oh, guys, I hope you're doing well and ready for a spot of yogi time here with Yogi here. And let's have a look. Who have I got here to stitch with Yogi today? We've got Daria first to report to the chat. Well done. And Daria says, happy Yogi and stitchy friends, happy stitchy day. Indeed, every day. Whenever we get together, it's a happy time, isn't it? It's just nice and relaxed. And Linda Diamond is here as well. Happy stitching friends. Hello, Linda. And Lucy. Oh, lovely Lucy. Lucy says, hello, Yogi. And chat, I have family party today, so I won't be able to join till later. Yogi, I love this piece. Happy stitching every day. I mean, Lucy is doing homework every day. And she's going through a lot of our streams here. And so we're done. We'll see you later. Just give me a second here. Oh, sorry, guys. My throat is getting a little bit tickly. And so today, I taught a few classes in the morning. And hang on, let me just take a sip of my coffee here. And 2 classes in the morning and 1 in the afternoon. Hang on a second. Oh dear. Yes, I've got a frog in my throat. Hopefully not on my fabric, okay? So I taught 2 classes in the morning and 1 in the afternoon, early afternoon. And my plan was to come home and maybe take a nap. A power nap. I love power nap. And I didn't get to do that. I got distracted. I was watching some videos. And so hopefully I can stay awake till the end. And so keep me awake. And I'm sure I will be fine. So who else have we got here? Travis. Hello, Travis. Travis is doing spooky stitching. And oh, yes, that Pokemon piece is so versatile. It works for the entire year, all the festive situation, birthdays, whatever it is, baby shower. I'm sure you can find something as well. And Travis is doing a spooky stitching with the Pokemon piece. Great to see you. And Amanda is here as well and stitch across the Smokies. Hello, welcome back. And Angela as well, hello. Great to see you. And Needles is also here waving at everybody. And Sola is also here. Sola has just finished the cardio. Well done, Sola. Sola is doing so well with the fitness and the diet as well. Amazing. And now it's ready to chat with everyone. Me too. And who else have we got here? Solar, let's have a look. Oh, there's some chatters going on already. And Suzanne is also here in the chat. Great to see you, Suzanne. And Donna Carter, hello. Great to see you. I think we met before, haven't we? I remember the name. And Brittany is here as well. And you see Brittany, you know it's weekend. And normally she has to work, the poor thing. And Lizzie, hello Lizzie, great to see you. And who else have we got here? Let me just go pick out two more names. And Susan, of course, Susan is here. Hello, hello, great to see you. And Kelly Shaw as well, and Suki and Rachel. Oh, you know, guys, I'm going to come back to the chat, okay? Let's start stitching. How's that? And so, you know, this piece, if you've been following me with this piece, I've been doing sort of longer distance cross country and just traveling wherever I wanted, wherever I wanted. So you can probably tell just by the formation of the stitches, I've been very free and just, you know, wander around wherever I wanted. And but today, I'm going to change my approach a little bit. I think it's about time. You know, this is 10 months into it, this piece. And I would like to try a little bit of parking with this piece. I have not parked, not only on this piece, I have not parked on 28 counts. So this is 28 counts, okay? And I'm doing 1/1 with this piece. It's working magically. The coverage is wonderful. Look at this. And but for some reason, 28 count just has not asked me to park. All my pieces, you know, with Coco Rouge, with this one, and I think I have one other, it's 28 as well. I have not parked a single thread on 28, but today I'm going to give it a go. Because the reason I think I have not felt like parking is because the size of the stitches, they're relatively small, okay, and also this fabric is very light. You know, instinctively, I just want to just wander around, almost like painting, sketching. But today I'm going to try something different, a little bit more disciplined way of parking. I'm going to do block by block parking. Okay, but probably not going to be diagonal because you just look at the situation here, okay? So my plan is I'm going to start from the top border here and start to stitch block by block, probably going sideways. I'm going to do color completion with each block and then move sideways. So, you know, it's not going to be a diagonal. That's normally how I do it. I'm going to try top down, vertical, block by block, horizontally, and then go to the second row, etc. See how it goes. And I might come in here and just fill in these stitches to complete them as I go. But fundamentally, I'm going to do block by block, top down, and not top down, horizontal. I'm going to go across and then come back whenever. You know, and so this is my plan today. Let's see if it flows. If it doesn't, I can always change my strategy here. And so let me know what are your plans today with your piece, and I love to know. Let me bring on my work mode here, and let me know what you're stitching, and you know, what is your war plan today, your strategy, you know. We need to have a strategy. Okay, so I'm going to just start from this block. You know, all the loose stitches on the left, I will fill in whenever I can. If I happen to pick the same color, the colors kind of exist over here as well, I will fill them in. So let's have a look. I think it's going to work because if you remember when we did the marathon, when I did the Christmas house 2, 32 counts. I was doing, what was I doing? What was I doing block by block? I can't remember. I was doing parking as well. So if it worked for 32 counts, it's going to be fine for this for 28. Okay then. Let me pick a color already, okay? Already. I am going to just fill in a few stitches here before I start parking. Let's see how it goes. I can park, absolutely, because the few stitches over here I want to fill in first. So the first color of my choice is 3A63. 3A63. And today, I never said, I never thought I would think 25-degree was a cool day, okay? But today is about, let me have a look right now. Today, I think the highest point was maybe 25. And currently it's about 23, but I'm sweating. I think maybe today is a little bit more humid. So I'm sweating. I'm sweating here. But there you go. This is just, I'm going to miss it come September. But at the moment, it's very, very warm still. And I think we're going to rain. The other day, I was talking about, we're going through heat wave and no rain for over a month now, probably more than that. But I think we're going to get some rain in the next few days. So let's have a look. Let me come back to the chat here and bear with me. And we have, who have we got? We have Emma as well. Emma Colony says, evening everyone, floss organization for me tonight, putting everything on bobbins in one place. Yes, it can be quite therapeutic, but if you have a piece waiting for you that you're kitting up, you can get a little bit impatient, can't you? I have been there, before I got my masterpiece, master set sorted. I used to kit up one project at a time. Let me just start doing this. And I think going from top down might be a good idea because you have a little bit more sort of sense of completion. I haven't done 28 count for a little while. And Badil as well, hello. And Heather House is also here in the chat. And she says, beautiful day in a stitchy town indeed. That's where we are. Busy mom, hello, great to see you. And Susan says, fingers crossed for the stream. I know, I leave it to fate, I leave it to the universe to take care of it. It's beyond my control anyway. Like yesterday, normally if they have a glitch with the broadband, they normally fix it within a few hours because connection is good, important for everyone. And the connection wasn't down; it was just unstable. So if you're just watching videos, for instance, you probably wouldn't even notice because normally. The video will cache for at least for a few minutes. If you're down, disconnect for like 30 seconds. You wouldn't even notice, but streaming is different. Streaming, if you just, disconnect for half a second, you're kicked out. So it's a little bit unforgiving in that sense. But hopefully today is going to be okay. Let me just double check this one. I might try to grid 5x5 if that helps me. I might not need it, but let's see how it goes. So I'm filling in the stitches first, and then I think I'll try to park to the right. Grace, hello Grace. Grace says, hi everyone, feeling well today. So I'm not feeling well today, so I'm lurking in the background. Grace, hope you're feeling better, speed recovery, and sending all the love and healing power to you, Grace. And just join in the chat and take it easy, okay? Marsha, hello Marsha. Good morning, Australia. Brittany says, don't forget to hit that like button. Brittany is a much better YouTuber than me. Thank you so much. And Travis says, may the internet gods ever be in our favor. I know. We deserve a stable connection, don't we? I know, I'm sure the universe is going to help. So I'm going to fill in all the stitches of this color within this block and then part to the next one. So I'm doing color completion 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Whoa, hang on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes. This fabric is so light. I need to be mindful when I count stitches because you can get mixed up. 1, 2. Okay, then I'm gonna part my first thread here. So the block on the right will be my first choice. If I'm able to part to the right, I'll do so. Otherwise, I'll part down. And if there's nothing below, then I'll part diagonal. So that's my plan. So very similar to the way I normally part block by block. Only, you know, slight change of direction. And Gonk. I butchered that one, haven't I? Says hello, Yogi, and everyone. You know who you are. And and Cindy says, glad you're back in business. Hope everyone is happy and well. I know. Great to see you, Cindy. All right, I'm gonna pick my next color. And I'm gonna I'll probably try oh dear, okay, let me do this because I was going to say I'm going to do a little bit of typewriter, as in, you know, follow the stitches in order, but then I think I'm gonna try to pick out a number that's got least numbers to start there. It just makes things easier. Okay, the next number, next color is 3861. 3861. I've got my needle board here. And Sola says I'm not armed with Aimee Stewart, but I've got, oh, the spider. Is it Ungoliant? Yes, the 10-legged spider. Oh, spooky. 3861. 3861. I'd love to see what it looks like. I bet it's really, really scary. 3861. Over here, 3861. So this area, fundamentally a lot of browns, but a lot of sort of surprising colors as well. Brittany, I think Brittany is referring to Heaven and Earth. Brittany says it's not a website, it's a rabbit hole. Indeed, yes. A giant rabbit hole. Love Drunk, hello. And Monique is here as well. Hello, hello. And Kazat is back with us. And oh, that's right. I forgot about him, Monique. Yes, indeed. The last stream, the day before yesterday. Okay, we have not, we weren't able to stream yesterday. And I remember the day before yesterday, someone mentioned that yesterday, was it yesterday? It was like a national cross-stitch day. I forgot about it. Yesterday was our day and we missed it. We have to make up for it. We have to do something. Maybe do a triple marathon to make up the fact that we miss our day, our special day. Indeed. I think it was yesterday, wasn't it? Cross-stitch day. Yes, the World Cross-Stitch Day yesterday. Oh, yes. So, well, it's a day late, but it's never. It's better than never, isn't it? So, so happy World Cross-Stitch Day, everyone. Let me just, I have two chat panels here. Hang on, I just want to highlight Monique's comment there. It's very, very nice. And we can celebrate. We can celebrate today. No problem. And best friends, hello. Waving back at you. And what are you stitching today? And Suzanne says, I'm going to work on my Painting Fairy stamp kit, Sailor Saturn. Oh, is that the Sailor sort of anime thingy? That sounds like fun. Susan says, I'm doing a second Saturday view of the garden. Oh, why not? It was good the first time. Mine was to do it again. Yes, we did a Saturday SAL the other day. I think it was the last Saturday, wasn't it? Has it been a week already? Seriously. And Brittany says, I'm working on mini appointment with a maker. Oh, Brittany, it's always so light-hearted, isn't it? Brittany's pieces. Either there's some sort of, bones and skulls or some sort of dark theme. And now is a appointment with a maker. Of course. Wonderful. A really sort of happy Saturday stitching, isn't it? Lynn, hello Lynn. Lynn says, hello Yogi, so glad you're back. It's nice to have Suzanne as well, so we get best of both. Hello Cynthia, stitching nothing. Oh really? Are you feeling better today? And Lynn, you need to start stitching, okay? You're gonna love it. And Stitch Across the Smoky says, today I'm working on 2 dancing peacocks. I'm currently doing the typewriter method, block by block, top left to right. Oh, similar to what I'm doing, but you're probably doing cross country, right? Oh, hang on. If you're doing block by block, yes, I'm not really doing typewriting. I was going to, but I look at this block. If you look at my pattern there, these are, this color only has about 5 stitches, but the remaining block has got a really dominant color there. So I wanted to do it from the stitches that's got less numbers, if you know what I mean. So I'm not doing min to max necessarily. I'm just trying to sort of minimize having to carry my thread over stitch area. So I'm gonna just park over here. 1, 2, 3. Very nice. It's nice to park sort of a different direction because I always do diagonal this way. It's nice to kind of, kind of plant your threads in a different direction. All right, and I am going to mark this one. So with this block, I'm going to take care of the loose sort of stitches. There are few here. I'm going to do them first. I think this one might be a ninja. Indeed, look at this. Just a single stitch out of nowhere. A42. And we have Kelly. Kelly Shaw is having a 3863 spooky bingo. Sorry, I only got this. Yes, our first spooky bingo. Let me see if I can highlight this. The first one is special, and we don't always have spooky bingo. Some streams we have 0 spooky bingo. It's just me stitching on my own. And Kelly Shaw has got today's first spooky bingo. Yay! Congratulations, Kelly. Mandy Moran, hello. Great to see you. And Ace is also here waving at everyone. And Brittany says it's 83 Fahrenheit, 28 Celsius here right now. So you're slightly, just that little bit hotter than London. I know, it's ridiculous, isn't it? You know, yesterday, I'm pretty sure it was yesterday, those of you in the UK, did you get that warning? That warning alarm coming through your phone? Did everybody get that? If you're in the UK, yesterday, it was so scary. It was literally, I can't remember what time it was. I think it was probably, I took a screenshot because I was so shocked. Let me have a check. I think it was 7, was it 7 in the morning? I'm pretty sure because, 7 p.m. 7 p.m. Yesterday. My goodness, that was really, really loud. Let me know if you have a similar things in your country. I remember they started this during COVID. They were doing tests for some sort of warning alarm that will come through your mobile phone. Doesn't matter what phone you've got. And it's so loud. I remember them doing tests. And I was wondering, when are you going to use this? You know, and during COVID, everybody was a little bit paranoid anyway. And they were doing the test, the government, for the first time ever. They basically test this really almost like siren noise through your phone. And, Alexandra says, I got it. It's in the middle of West End show. No way. So everybody's phone just went off. What if you mute your phone? Can you still hear it? Guys, this is not ordinary sound, okay? This is so loud. And Suzanne says, we were on Amimee's live when it happened to her. It was 7 p.m., wasn't it? My goodness. Oh, my... Yes, it was so loud. It was really, really unpleasant. And they don't warn you for, you know, before the sound comes through. I'm kind of thinking, if you have a heart condition, you can literally go into some sort of, you know, seizure. It was really, really bad. And it went on for a few seconds. It seemed like forever. And I was just thinking, what on earth? And it turned out to be some sort of forest fire warning, because it hasn't rained for a little bit. And so, you know, there's some hose pipe ban and everything. And apparently there's some wildfires in some area, not in London, okay? We don't have enough trees for that to happen. I'm going to just end this thread because it's literally just one single stitch. But I'm not too sure, guys. Do you think it's justified to use the alarm for that, for that purpose? Because for me, that kind of national-wide to every single person, you know, wherever you are, despite the fact that some people might have a heart condition, do you think it's justified to warn people about wildfire? I would think if we're being, you know, invaded by aliens, that would be appropriate. I'm not sure about, you know, wildfire. I don't know, it's important, but can you not just send a message to everybody? They can do the same without an alarm. I don't know what to make of it. 842. I was just so taken aback. Lynn got it as well. Yes, I know. And Stitch across the Smoky says we got those alert for Amber. Oh, hang on, let me just read this one. It's moving, so I'm kind of missed it. Yes. So she says we have that here in the States. So what occasions do they ever use it? I hope they don't start doing it willy-nilly. I mean, this is very scary. It's just like it's such an alarming sound. I mean, they need to reserve it for World War III or something like that. Alien invasions, some sort of, meltdown of the civilization. They can't just use it for whatever purpose they want. It's ridiculous. 355. And it's the first time it's being used for real, because last time I remember it was during COVID, they were doing testing. I was very suspicious when they did that. I was just thinking, what are you planning to use it for? Seriously. And now I know. I can't believe it. Alexander Cross Stitches says, I'm in the middle of the West End show. I bet, I bet all the actors, they're probably going, what on earth? And Lona says, we have those alerts for Amber Alerts and Silver Alert. That's different though. Amber Alert for what? Is it, I thought Amber Alert was for missing person. Is that different thing we're talking about? What is Amber Alert and Silver Alert? We're talking about a really, prolonged, for seconds, sort of alarm sound. That's very, very unpleasant. It's very, very scary. Sarah says we have that here when we have a tornado warning for a lost child alert. But is that what kind of sound are we talking about? It's really hard to describe. And to be honest, even if there is a audio sample of that, I wouldn't play it because it's so unpleasant. Janine says, hello, Yogi and all. hello. And I'll try to get back to a little previous comments when I get a chance, okay? I just want to catch up with the alarm situation. It was just alarming, clearly. It wasn't nice. I hope they don't just do it on a regular basis because people are going to ignore it if they start just doing that. Let me just plot my stitch here. 3 stitches with this one. Busy Mom says we get them all the time for bad weather. Really? Like all the time? I hope that the alarm the sound you get is a little bit less scary than this one. This is literally like, I don't know. I can't even describe it. I actually took a screenshot just for entertainment for our stitchers outside the UK. Okay, I'm gonna just show you what was on my phone, and I took a screenshot in time because afterwards it disappears. So yesterday, it's got a timestamp here, 7:02 p.m. It was Friday. And it says, let me just highlight this a little bit, just for your reference, okay? See if you've got something similar where you are. And so it's a severe alert issued by the UK government. There's a very high risk of wildfires nationally. Residents, landowners and visitors should not undertake any activities that should start a fire, and including disposable barbecue, fire pits, garden, incinerators, or fireworks. Even with a small flame can rapidly develop into a major wildfire, placing live homes and business and emergency responders at risk. Follow the updates and report signs of fire. Immediately call 999 and government, etc. I mean, I'm not saying this is not important. By no means. They could have just sent a message like this in caps people will pay attention. Okay, you don't need to, have the audio as well. It was horrible, and also, it's quite odd. It comes through the screen, but if you, after a few seconds, it literally disappears. I can't find it anywhere. Can you still find it on the phone? I can't. So what's the purpose? If you just flash this, I just happened to take a screenshot because I was so alarmed, and because now, if I go into my phone, I cannot find this message. So what is the, it makes me want to swear. What is the freaking, a purpose for that? If you just flash it and you can't refer to it, you can't go back to it, what's the point? What are you trying to do? It's so bizarre. It just feels like an experiment. So they've probably been waiting, to use it, to see whether it works or not for ages. And they grab this opportunity and do this. I don't think it's justified. What do you think, guys? Susan says, I think it was because some houses were destroyed. I understand it. I'm not definitely not saying that the situation isn't serious. I'm just talking about whether it's justified to use alarm this way. Because for me, if the entire country is on fire, then yes, you can use alarm. But wildfires, I don't know, probably restricted to a royal sort of countryside or, forest areas. But entire nation is being told not to use disposable barbecue. Really? That's the reason you do it? Travis says, it scared me silly when I had my headphones on at work and that sound goes off. So what was the reason they raised, they have that alarm sound? So I think the UK government probably been taking tips from the American government. They probably go, well, we would like to have it too. Sounds like fun. 355. Ruby Rose says, no, it's not justified at all. I'll be very angry. I have my alerts turned off. Can you turn it off? I don't think you can though. I'm not sure if there's a setting because this is not something that people sign up for. It basically just mandatory, they basically just take over your phone number and just send it to you no matter what. Your phone, if you have a device, you probably have it go off. I have multiple devices. I have 2 phones in the house. And luckily, Mr. Yogi wasn't in. Otherwise, 3 phones simultaneously go off. It's not funny. Yes, I think wildfires, is pretty serious, and also, but also it's not new. We're not talking about alien invasion here. So, there are ways you can educate people and, highlight the situation. But I just think it's very, very suspicious. I just think they're just using the situation as an excuse, maybe to test it, to see, how it goes. Wu says, I live in the town affected by the wildfire. The alarm is justified. Our town is burning. Mess. People are devastated. Well, if that's a situation, everybody's already aware. If you live in a town that's got forest fire or whatever, then you should be aware already. I'm just saying, they're not sending them to certain area, people in certain areas. They're sending it to the entire nation. What are they doing? And as I said, the sound was so alarming. The volume was so high. If you have a heart condition, you can literally have a heart attack. Because it never happened before. People don't know what it is. All right, the next color. I've got quite a few stitches. 3064. 3064. They're not warning you, you know, like, oh, escape now. You need to clear from, you know, from your area and find shelter. It wasn't that kind of situation. It was basically telling people, well, be careful with the fire. You know, do not use fireworks, do not barbecue. 3064. Suzanne says here in Sweden, they have an alarm test first Monday of the month. Alarm test via what? Via your phone. Yes, Jinian says, I can see having alarms within maybe the 25 miles radius, but the entire not in the entire country. I agree, because they can definitely selectively, you know, just deliver those within the area that's relevant to them. I mean, people in London, seriously, we're aware of the forest, you know, the lack of rain and maybe forest fire, but there's no need for us to receive that kind of, you know, alarm. The audio is just not necessary. You can just send a really, you know, quite a formal text to everybody, and I think everybody will pay attention. And also, you know, I do not understand that the message literally just disappear within not even a minute after that, because once you swipe it off your phone, you can't find it. It's not anywhere in the phone. I don't know, maybe I just don't know where it is. It's not in your messenger. It's not in your text record. So if you want to go back and look at it, you can't. So what's the point of that? Amanda says we get those alerts for missing children and sometimes severe weather. Severe weather for relevant areas. I get it. Missing children, yes, but do they do the alarm as well? That, I think the audio is the part I have problem with. I just don't think you should do that. Best friend says our firefighters have been on war days in Oklahoma for the past month, and they're estimating for another month at least. Yes, forest fire and wildfires is very hard to stop. It happens a lot in Australia, I think, every year. And Turtle Stitcher Heather, hello, darling. And she says, we have alerts here for earthquakes and wildfires. You can turn them off. I do. Yes, earthquake, I think is worth, you know, having an alarm because you can't see it coming. And I think they probably have that in Japan as well. And, you know, maybe places that has a lot of earthquakes. I think, you know, they need to reserve it for a really serious situation, like urgent, like you have to clear off or something. You can't just, you know, I want you to read my message, therefore I'm gonna just scare the hell out of you. Alison, hello. Alison says, evening everyone. We never got an alert in Scotland. Really? You didn't get in Scotland? And she says that I'm aware of, not in Scotland that I'm aware of, and there was a village somewhere in England where the houses near caught on fire, were destroyed. So how come they didn't deliver it to you when it's relevant? That is so odd. So only England? I don't know. That is strange. And Lona says it's meant to get people's attention. It worked. Well, I'm just saying that I'm just thinking that it's not really appropriate for the message they send. They could, like Janine said, they could have just sent it to the relevant area, locations. Then that would have been fine. Not just to everybody. That's ridiculous. And A says we have that alarm in Norway too. I wonder if they use the same sound because it's very, very scary. It was literally just like, I don't know, World War III or something. Jeanine says I turn Amber Alert off on my phone. I don't need heart attack because the child is missing in Wisconsin. Yes, I'm not even sure that you can turn it off. Does anybody know how to turn it off? In a way, I don't want to turn it off just in case there's some genuine, urgent situation that I need to clear off because the alien is, invading the planet. But I also do not enjoy being scared whenever they want, to scare you. Whenever they want your attention, they just raise the alarm. That's very, very, that's not good. Kezat says, I think I read somewhere there were 37 active wildfires UK-wide today. I'm sure it's a situation, definitely. But London is not on fire. There's no need to include London for the alarm as well. It's just unnecessary because you scare the hell out of people. And Barlow Bunny says, we have the same alarm in Oman. It went off at the start of Israel-Iran conflict to warn of airstrikes. There was a bit bomb clinching at the time, but that's totally justified. That's the type of situation I'm talking about. War zone, wartime, some sort of urgent situation. There's an airstrike. There's that kind of stuff. Not like do not use disposal barbecue. That's how I imagine this type of alarm would be used for, urgent situation like run, Andreas, hello. And she says, made it here. We lost our air conditioning in 1990, 37 Celsius, got Windows unit and finally can stitch. I know, I've been through that as well. Today isn't 37, but there were a few days we were close to 35. And most houses, residential houses, don't have air conditioning. So just open a window and hope for the best. And let me see if I can do these ones as well. Lona says, Amber Alert is missing kid, Silver Alert is missing elderly. Yes, I'm kind of familiar with them because I watch a lot of crime cases in America, which is fair, even though I would not say they're justified to use sound like that. They can send messages to people and maybe some sort of audio, but it doesn't have to be like, oh my God, the alien is invading the planet. kind of audio, you know, kind of alarm. Turtle Stitcher Heather says, I live in the city that has repeatedly lost multiple homes to wildfires. The worst one, 22 people died. Fires often move dramatically at night, and the sound is intended to wake people up. And perfectly, yes, if urgent situation that you can do something like that. The problem is, you know, as you sort of, you know, heard from the chat, the people in the theater, and I was just minding my own business at home, and that's just not good. Jenny says, rode my bicycle to mom's and heading home. I'll be back in about 45 and safe journey. Okay, no riding motorbike and texting at the same time. Okay, I'll be quite impressed if you could, but don't do it. Busy Mom says that's what we get when there's a storm coming, like a tornado. Yes, I think urgent. You know, that's my whole point. I'm not saying the alarm is not useful, even though for the first time, I don't think UK had this kind of alarm, like nationwide alarm, before COVID. It's a brand new thing. And how did we cope? I think we did okay without an alarm. There are ways you can, you know, notify people. Heather says, Yogi, it's important to not start small fires like house fires right now. Small fires. Because the firefighter resources are needed to fight the big fires, there may be reason to send an alarm. So it's important not to start smaller fires like what? What do you mean by house fires? Do you mean like, oh, I mean, okay, I get what you mean. Heather is saying that be mindful in the house just in case, because sometimes people can raise a fire alarm, you know, call a fire brigade because they burn a toast and neighbors don't know and call a fire brigade. And it kind of takes away their resources to fight real fires, which I understand. But you could, once again, you know, I'm not saying that the situation is not important. I'm saying that there are other ways you can communicate that, because we're not talking about, you know, you have to run right now kind of situation. And that's kind of my whole point, that it's important to bring awareness to people so they are mindful with the fire and everything, and they should be, you know, regularly anyway. But it's about using that alarm to do that. I don't think, well, personally, I really don't think it was correct for them to do that. They could have done it selectively, you know, with the areas that's being affected. But if they just want to educate people and remind them to be mindful, just send a message, proper message. You can send it every day. I wouldn't mind. Alison says, I would rather have a minute inconvenience and a panic than risk me, my family, and pets' life. I understand what you're saying. I'm just saying the appropriateness of the alarm, because if they start using alarms for occasions like this, people are going to be desensitized. They're going to go, oh, just another one. And Mandy says you can turn it off on Android and iPhone. I didn't know. I didn't even know. I actually gave them permission to do that. I knew they were testing during COVID, and I had no idea how it came through. So I have no idea how to turn it off. And as I said, I don't really want to turn it off because, you know, when it comes to urgent situation, I don't want to miss the alarm. So that's not a point. It's more about, you know, whether it's appropriate to use alarm. And Kelly says our niece's house is still standing in Summerland, BC. After weeks of very bad fire, but no power and 34 degrees means the content of the fridge and freezer will have a bad stench by now. Oh, no power. That's quite right. Yes, no power, no fridge, and there's no joke. Lynn says the government knows more about us than we think. In what way? And Lynn, I admire your trust. Let me just put it that way. Woo says, you admit yourself, you don't watch the news, there are dangerous fires all over the country. Well, no, I'm not saying, yes, I don't watch news, and I've been doing okay for the last, 15 years not watching news, because when I get any news, they're genuinely important. And so I just cut off the noise. I think it's impossible, unless you live in a cave, it's impossible to avoid news in some way, because they come through not just through news channels, they come through social media, they come through chats like this, they come through, workplaces everywhere. So but it's just filtering out noises. And as I said, I'm not saying I want to turn off the alarm. I'm saying that is it appropriate to use it this way? Can they be more selective? So when it comes to real, emergencies, people pay attention. Because if they start using it just because they want people to pay attention for whatever it is, people are going to be desensitized. It's just the way it is. Ruby Rose says, Yogi, you can turn them off on iPhone under settings notification, the bottom of government alert. Oh, I didn't even know there was such a setting. And Ruby Rose says, I have all my turned off. Yes, it's a personal choice, and if, let's say, you have a heart condition, or, for whatever reason, it creates problem for you if that kind of noises just suddenly go off. Yes, I'm happy to see that there is actually a choice. Lizzie says Wales too, we had the warning. Okay, so only Scotland. That's interesting. I wonder if there's some sort of disagreement in terms of, how the alarm being used between Scotland and, The government. I mean, Scotland have their own government anyway. So they probably make their own policies, their own decisions. And Alexander says, us in Wales had two, one in Welsh and one in English. My God. So it actually went off twice, or they just sent through two versions of the messages. And also, where do you find that message? Is it somewhere in your phone that you can look up what they actually wrote? Because it basically just disappeared from one of my phones. I couldn't find it. It's just so lucky that I decided to take a screenshot so I can still read it. I mean, if the goal is to alarm people with whatever it is, the message needs to be there, need to persist, so you can read it. Amanda says, your country is the size of one of our states. Wi-Fi could absolutely jump and end up in London. You could take less than a day. Well, the thing is, though, I don't know much about wildfires, and I'm just thinking, is this year the weather situation, is it so unique this year? Because I'm sure fires probably happened previously. I'm sure this is not the first time, and I have never heard of wildfires ended up, you know, spread to London. I just never heard of that. Susan says, Yogi, according to you, aliens are already in our chat. That's quite true. Susan, very observant. Okay, yes. Aliens are amongst us. So it's too late for the invasion. They're already here. Lizzie says, I nearly had a heart attack. We had it in Welsh first, then about 5 minutes later in English. So you get so the alarm actually went off twice. Dear, oh dear. Betty Hankins, great to see you. Sola says, Yogi, what is disposal barbecue? When we grow, we don't throw barbecue, grow away. Well, I think that's probably because where you are, barbecue is a thing. Over here, it's very, very occasionally people do. And a lot of people, I'm not well versed in the barbecue world, okay? I'm just guessing that you can go to a shop and get a kind of temporary kind of barbecue thingy that you can just, it's got everything you need, and you just light it up and you can barbecue for just for that occasion, I think. And maybe those type of barbecue grills that people throw away without fully clear the fires before they do that, and it causes problems. Maybe throw in the bin or something in the park. That can happen. Yes, Susan. Yes, it's a foil container which you light and barbecue. It's quite small, and it's a throwaway thing, isn't it? So, and that's probably the problem, because if people use regular barbecue equipment in their garden, for instance, then they probably take better care, making sure everything is safe. But the throwaway things is probably the issue. A says, can't you guys send some of that heat and sun up to northern Norway? Oh dear. What? A says, we have just rained all summer and 8 to 18 degree. Well, that sounds so nice. 18, Celsius sounds lovely just about now. And it's been raining as well. I can see if it's raining all the time, it's a little bit depressing. Yes, I will personally deliver some of the heat over to you for sure. Maddie, hello. And Tanya says, if the situation that requires immediate action, like taking shelter, stay inside the house, something like that, I get it. And good evening. Exactly, I totally agree, Tanya. And that's appropriate usage of alarms like that. It's urgent, right? The urgency is the thing, not just, try to educate people, whatever it is. Alison says, I'm working on a web called Rainy Days. Well, we can hope for the best. I think it's going to rain. It's going to rain. Well, if the forecast can be trusted, it's going to rain in a few days. So all will be okay. Betty says, we had blizzard in 93 and had over 2 feet of snow in a few hours. High wind took trees. It was awful. No electricity for 2 weeks. In 93, as in 1993? And Natty, hello, Natty. Let me have a look. Where am I? 1, 2. Have I? Oh, am I here already? I had no idea. I just kept stitching. I might need to fudge a little bit. Mandy Moran says it would be good if the idiots that think it's fun to start fires got harsher sentencing. You mean deliberately? You mean arson? Oh yeah, that's criminal, for sure. Betty says, I've seen disposable grill at Walmart. Is it quite unusual in America to have a disposable one? Because over here, most people probably don't have barbecue equipment in a garden. You need a garden to start with. And some people, I don't think it's allowed. I don't think it's supposed to do that. But some people go to a park or a common and they barbecue there. I don't think it's permitted, but people do it. Alyssa, hello. Alyssa says, hello, everyone. Good to see you. Yes, it's, they probably use it for camping as well. So it's a temporary kind of kit that people use for barbecue. And then they throw it away. And Suzanne says those small barbecue can knock over easily and start a fire. A few years ago, they warned here in Sweden not to burn stuff because of a dry situation, a dry condition. It was way too dry and too many fires were happening. I know that can happen. And Betty says, my husband and I saw a fire start because of lightning. Okay. So it's kind of, you know, nothing you can do really. It's lightning. Okay, I am going to end this thread here. Oh, just 2 stitches. Why not? Let me see if I can get away with it. Lona says, arsonists love Oklahoma. Why? What's the fun of starting a fire? I don't know. But you know what? This is actually a thing, okay? A lot of people work in fire brigade, you know, like firefighters. A lot of them turn out to be arsonists. Have you heard of stories like that? There are quite a few, like firefighter heroes, and they actually start fire themselves and then try to fight it and turn themselves into heroes. They found out because every time a sort of weird kind of fire starts, and you know, those firefighters would be there, the first one to discover them and then fight the fire. And I think they're probably drawn to fire. Some people like it for some reason. It's a weird kind of phenomena. Let me cut this off. See, I can link everything to true crime. Travis says we have portable barbecues. Yes, I think probably most places you can probably get it. I think if you live somewhere that everybody's got their own barbecue equipment, then it's probably quite alien to you. But I think, you know, for people who live in the city, that's the only way you can barbecue, really. And Brandy says hello. Brandy says, which year is this SAL for? Oh, this piece, I started last October. So this chart is relatively new. I think this chart came out maybe September-ish. And then I waited for the max color version. And so I started this piece as soon as the max color version came out. So it was last October, I think. All right then. Hey guys, have a look at this. I think there are a couple of 2 stitches. Otherwise I'm done with this block. Amazing. Just 2 stitches. Actually, there's 3 here. I can fill in. 3A, 5A. Oh, Travis, yes. I knew it. Travis says we need some water Pokemon to put out those fires. Yes, it's all down to you now, Travis. Can you send some, you know, those powerful Pokemons to save the fire, please? And maybe Pokemons, like you know, they can produce rain. That would be very handy. And just the right amount of rain. And Joyce, hello, Joyce. Great to see you. Are you stitching the battleship today? Lona, yes, where Lona lives, it seems to have a lot of natural disasters, like flooding, and you have forest fire as well, tornado. You've got a whole lot. Oh, this stitch is a little bit suspicious. I think this one is also not stitched yet. I'm gonna fudge, okay? Fudge time. And have a lovely night, Suzanne, 99. Sweet dreams. Lynn says, Yogi, Ross Stewart had a heart surgery recovering cancer. His show, oh really? Because I found out from you that he had a sort of health issue. So he's got a heart surgery. Well, I hope it went well. It's a major surgery with a heart. But he's quite fit, Lynn. So I think he's going to be okay. You know, I think he's in his 70s or maybe nearly 80s. But he's quite fit for his age. So I'm sure he's going to be okay. Alexander says, arsonists tend to just stay and watch or return to the building to watch the fire. I know. It's so weird. A lot of criminals do that as well, apparently. Sometimes murderers, they do the same. They like to come back to the scene and look at the sort of fuss they created. There's a sense of satisfaction or something. It's quite bizarre. 3858. 3858. Let me take a sip of my coffee. Brandy says, I'm terrified of fires. I live in an apartment building that had a fire. Lost almost everything we own. Thankfully, no fatalities. It was ours suddenly, and only the clothes we were wearing. Oh, it was so suddenly. Okay, so you had to clear up from the building. Yes, I bet it's scary. I mean, fire is no joke. All right, I'm going to move on. I think there's one stitch here I can see. Two stitches, actually. 1, 2, 3. Let me have a look. Okay. I'm going to pick this one. 3727. 3727. Mandy says, I'm doing Lola Crow SAL Museum after midnight exhibit night. Well, that's a very long name. Is that LaSalle is in Stitch Along SAL? Travis says, there are Pokemons that can produce rain. Perfect. Can we have some of those? Come to rescue. So... Heather House says, hello all. Happy Saturday. Happy Saturday to you, Heather. Double Heather today. Brandy, I know. I fudge, you know, anytime, as much as possible. I know Brandy says fudging already. We just got here. I know. Because But this area is quite fudgeable. That's why I like to think. Um, it's just a blend of colors. It's fudgeable. Sometimes it isn't. And so far, the parking seems to be working fine. 1, 2, 3. I'm very hot. Susan, are you sweating? I'm sweating. Elisa says it's so hot here in Oklahoma. It's quite hot here in London as well. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Joy says, battle break. Did a new start yesterday. Another one. World Cross Stitch Day. A girl with pomegranate. Wow. So you started a new piece for the World Cross Stitch Day. That's proper, Joyce. Well done. I love to see the piece. Yes, sometimes you need to have a break from the battleship. Oh dear, you've done so well though. Does that mean you've finished 50%? Because you have all the blocks, you know, for the first set of the blocks already done. That's quite amazing. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I'm going to park to the next block. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. There you go. Sola says, my apartment building burned. Like the one you were living. Sola says, luckily, all I suffer was smoke damage and I got out before the fire affected my place. When are we talking about? I mean, like, now? Sola? Richard Morton says, I started a new start today. Bella Filipina purse foam on the core for fabric. I don't know which bit is the actual title, but wow. Is it one of those beaded pieces, patterns? Betty says Yogi likes chocolate so much she fishes often. Fishes? Yes, I was trying to figure out your secret code. No, Betty says Yogi likes chocolate so much she fudges often. Fudge, chocolate fudge, yes. Betty's keyboard has got a life of its own. And Nati says, I just realized how lazy I am. I just started a new pattern on 22 count 2 over 1. Okay, 2 over 1. Realized I don't like how the stitch looks, so I stitch to 1 over 1. Like it much better. Right, did you stitch over it? So you do 2 over 1. I'm trying to figure out. No, two strands over 1 stitch. And then you just switch to 1 over 1. Can you tell it? Can you notice? Can you tell that you change the amount of threads? You probably can't. 22 counts. I wonder. 22 count is probably noticeable, but depending on how many stitches you've already done. Amanda says, I think I finally conquered parking. Oh my God. You won. Let me take a sip of my coffee. Lynn says, Yogi, it would be interesting. My brother in America, we're wondering if we got the government alert. It went off on his mobile phone in England. Hang on. So he's got his phone with him, right? And he's in America. Does that mean the alert went off on his phone as well? That's interesting. If I take my phone and I travel to another country yesterday, will alarm go off as well? Or do they detect where you are? Because, you know, if you're in a different country, it could be in the middle of the night. Brandy says, I'm doing max color piece and part a light blue thread in the wrong place and had about 5 other light blue colors part around it. You know, I got it all messed up and ended up frogging 300 stitches. Brandy, oh, I'm so sorry. It happens. It happens. Yes, that's the thing, because sometimes, you know, you have one error and the rest are correct, but a lot of times, particularly with cross country as well, if you don't reference to the blocks carefully, the borders carefully, if you just, you know, a lot of times cross country, you just kind of spot where a particular, you know, a stitch you already have and use that as a reference point. But if that stitch is not correct, basically everything else is incorrect. So collateral damage. All right, so I'm gonna do the part threads first. So only 2 part threads, so it's not too bad. And only 1 stitch in this block. Oh, solar is referring to a fire a few years ago. Thank God. I thought it just happened just now. But I bet it's quite traumatic, right? Because it's not just loss of property. It's a little bit like being burgled. It's not just that you lost, you know, some stuff. It's that sense of trust, sense of security. It's kind of gone. And let me park over here. Busy Mom says, gotta go. Me and my daughter are going to see Lainey Wilson tonight, and at State Fair. She's a country singer. I was about to ask who Lainey Wilson was. Okay, a country singer. How nice. And enjoy the concert. Alexander says the alerts are sent a telephone must, so won't do it in other countries. Oh, I'm glad to hear that. Yes, that wouldn't make sense. So it's not, they're not sending them through just based on telephone numbers, because they could be anywhere in the world. Samantha, hello, great to see you. And Guy Lane is waving at the chat as well. Great to see you, Guy Lane. And this one I'm stitching is 3A63. Oh, Natty, have you posted? So Natty says posted in Facebook group, you can tell the difference. Oh, by switching. Switching from 2/1 to 1/1. I think you can. If you do full cross, single strand, and switch to double strand tent or vice versa, you probably can't, because it's not so much with the shape of the stitches, it's more of the volume of the thread. If you change the volume, I think you you can probably tell. Also, Brandy has been on a frogging journey. So you had to frog only a couple of weeks ago, and you have to frog again. But then, Brandy, you've already done it before. You can do it again, right? You have the skill, you have the know-how. Janine's back. Yes, I hope you had a safe journey. Oh, that's a very good point, Amanda. Yes, referring to Natty's piece, going from 2/1 to 1/1. At the moment, your focal point is, on those stitches. So you notice once everything's stitched up, like Amanda said, you probably won't notice anymore. That's a very good point. But I have switched from full cross single strand to double strand tent. You literally cannot tell the difference because the coverage is pretty much identical. If you look very closely, you can see the shape, of the stitches they look a little bit different. But, once you have everything stitched up, you really can't tell the difference. Okay, I'm gonna end this one here. And Joy says, I had a pattern and all the floss for a few years. It's the new piece, the new start. It's a golden kite with 87 colors, 85 solid, and 128 blends. What? So mostly blend. And Joy says, I chickened out, but you got the pattern. Did you not know when you got the pattern? But blend colors are just two. So does that mean you have to do two strands? I know you could do potentially with single strand, like two colors, but that's quite a hassle, isn't it? So you're probably restricted to the stitch count that you can do two strands. Let me pick another 3A63. 3A63. I quite enjoy blend colors actually. I'm not sure 128. I've never tried that, but it's a challenge. Travis says Marek's trying to take me out with his toys. He's trying to attack you now. Oh dear. Marek, be nice to your dad, okay? He's got stitching. He's got Pokemons to stitch. I think he's come, has got to this age, nearly 1. He started to attack his parents. So with this one, I got, oh, this one's tricky. One, two stitches. Oh dear. Lynn says, Yogi, it's been outside to check Molly's gate is shut properly, as people don't always shut it. It's a lot cooler. Is Molly doing okay in this hot weather? I think Dolly, I don't know about Molly, Dolly is very hot. Dolly is lounging every day trying to find different spots, like shady places. She likes to, sleep outside for maybe the past 2 months. She's spending a lot of time outdoor. And every time I look out the window, she's sleeping in a different spot. I think she's kind of, following the shade of the sun and just keep moving. She's sleeping. It must be really hot being a furry animal recently. Oh, Lona is having 3863. Spooky bingo. Well done, Lona. Yes, this is the one I'm stitching today. Yay. Congratulations, Lona. And remind me, which piece are you stitching? Because I missed probably a whole bunch of comments before. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Rachel Morton says, I had to frog 100 stitches earlier today. I did the wrong color, and you managed to do 100 stitches, to frog 100 stitches, and you're still able to speak. I don't know. 100 stitches is quite a lot to frog. 100 stitches is not too bad to stitch, right? I've probably already done 100 so far. But frogging 100 stitches is different. All right, I'm going to park it down here just for 1 stitch. I'm enjoying parking with this piece so far. And I think it's a great spot to start parking because I'm working on the top border. So it's just more neat this way. Janine says, my house has 1 million Brackets, exaggeration. Thank God for that. Otherwise, it sounds like horror film, isn't it? Janine says my house has 1,000,000 flies. Yeah, sounds like a Stephen King horror film. And Janine says they must all die. I hate them. Oh, be kind to flies, okay? They're just trying to survive. 1,000,000, yes, of course. All right, how do I approach this blog? It's got quite a few slightly confetti here. I'm just thinking which order I should stitch. Maybe I just start from top, from top down to keep it simple. All right then, I'll just do that. 3064. 3064. Hey Dolly, hi babe, how are you doing? Oh, I think Dolly wants to go out. This is it. And she had prawns tonight, okay, so she should be very happy. Let me just let her out from the front window. I'll be right back. And she's gone out from the front window. I just need to remember that she's outside. Sometimes I forget. Really bad, mummy. Okay, 3064. 3064. Have I got a thread here? I can't remember what I was doing. 3064. It's 3064. Lola is working on traveling library. Oh, right. So, yes, we should have a lot of 310 spooky bingo and a lot of browns. Joy says the top row are blends of white. Oh dear, sounds like a nightmare. 3865 and 3756. And Joy says I'm following the pattern but can't tell the difference. Blended air stitching. Oh my God, that's another level. Air stitching is hard enough and you're blending two colors literally identical. You'll probably be asking, why am I doing this? What's the purpose of this? Why can't I just have two strands of the same color? I understand. Choice. Yes. But I think blended, I don't know, in terms of charting, is it harder to chart sort of patterns with blends? Because the whole point with blends is, I think, is to establish colors that you cannot find solid colors for, isn't it? The whole point of blending. Or maybe for patterns with less colors. So the one you're stitching is like 80 something color, right? So we're not talking about 240. Maybe there are colors. So blending two colors is creating a new color, isn't it? So maybe that's how they reduce the number of colors required, by blending colors. Is that the purpose? I don't know. Anyone who knows charting, let me know. So either to create colors that you cannot find the perfect thread for, or to reduce the number of threads required for a piece. Moni says, my house, them too. Why is everybody writing in secret code? I have no idea what you mean. Moni says, my house also has fruit flies and can't wait for summer to be over. Strangely, this year we have very few flies. Normally, maybe something to do with the lack of rain. Normally in the summer, particularly, when it's really hot and I have Dolly's food out, and sometimes it kind of attracts flies to come in. But this year, for some reason, if you didn't mention it, I almost forgot we have flies. Natty says, Yogi, I've uploaded some of my patterns on my shop last night. So nervous to do it, but excited as well. Oh, Natty, are you doing your own patterns as well? How wonderful. What software are you using for charting? Did you chart it yourself? Did you create artwork and then chart it yourself? Wonderful. I'd love to have a look. Because Natty's got a shop, don't you? Natty, is it an online shop only or a physical shop as well? I don't know. So the fruit flies, are they just regular flies? Are they different? Because we have just regular flies. Lynn says, I wash Molly down with a sponge and water. Oh, right. No hose pipes. But you're allowed to wash horses, surely. That's taking care of animals. Yes, I bet Molly loves a little bit of a sponge wash, sponge bath. Yes, I think if you have fur, it's probably hard work at the moment. And I think for really beardy people, or people who have very long hair, well, with long hair, you can probably tie it back. But if you have a beard in this weather, I think it's pretty challenging, isn't it? It's probably all sweaty and everything. Yeah, hello, Dolly. Bye, Dolly. I know. Yes, she came in immediately. I knew what she wanted. We're connected. We don't have to communicate with words. She can just look at me and I know what to do. And see you later, Lizzie. Rachel says, blends help create more seamless transition from one color to another color. Also help with depth. Yes, I think it's also depending on how many colors within a piece, isn't it? Because if you have a piece that's max color, for instance, you have 240 colors to play with. But, normally most projects probably don't have that many. So I think in order to create more sort of smooth transitions, you blend. So in a way, it's kind of using less colors to do more. Oh dear, I just kept stitching. I don't think this one's supposed to be here. Not that anybody's going to notice the difference. 1, 2. Travis says, I have to be careful. If I take my chinchilla out in the balcony, the last time I did, we ended up having 20 to 30 turkey vouchers flying around. What? Are they waiting for a snack? The chinchilla. Oh dear. Yes, you have to be very careful. You have those the only reason that I know about turkey vultures, not vultures rather, is because of a true crime that I've been watching. And if you see them flying around, you know there's probably something dead in the neighborhood. Yes, you have to be very careful. You don't want your chinchilla to be someone else's lunch. That wouldn't be ideal. Jeannie says, all creepy crawly things need to be squashed. Oh, come on. You know, some spiders can be quite cute. Have you seen those jumping spiders? They're quite cute. Big eyes, looking all innocent. They don't want to get squashed. And Joy says this smoothing out transitions with hay pattern is often done with a checkerboarding 2 to 3 colors. Checkerboarding. Interesting. Yes, I really only notice how blended color are being used while stitching Maggie, even though I've stitched Maggie for 3 times now, but I never really understood the meaning of blended colors. And it's really clever how they did it, because Maggie, the Dimensions project that I'm doing, only has about just probably 55 colors in total. Maybe less, but quite a few blend colors. So the solid version of the colors, they're also being used in parts of the pattern, but they would take, you know, combination of 2 colors to blend the 3rd color. And it's really clever the way they do it. Solar says blends also create a smoother gradient through using less colors. I'm guessing, right? Because if you have a lot of colors to play with, you probably don't need to do that. And we can have a look at Natty's pattern as well. I'm curious. I'm curious. Hang on, let me just do this one. And Natty, is it okay if we look at your patterns on the stream here? It's on our Facebook group. And I'm in the process of finalizing the artwork for my first chart, hopefully, as well. It's final polishing. So let's have a look. So I got an okay from Natty. Let's have a look, see if I can find it. All right. Oh, that's very natty. Look at this. Look at the pattern. But did you create the artwork? How did you produce the artwork? So these are from Natty's shop. She's got an online shop. That's a link there. Is that your link? And let me zoom out a little bit. And so that's very Natty, because Natty likes quite quirky stuff, like, you know, anime type stuff. And did you create this yourself? Let's have a look. And that as well. Let me see if I can zoom in. Betty says, do you know what you would charge for your charge? A very good question. I've been thinking about that as well. Hang on, let me just show this one. And there's another one. This is one of those creatures, isn't it? These are like really cute sort of sea creatures. I can't remember what it's called. It's like a little bit like sort of jumping spiders, kind of unlikely creatures to be cute. That's very nice. So these are from Natty's shop. If you like these ones, you can find them. Oh, there's one more. And so these are 400 by 557. So biggish. Biggish. That's very nice, Natty. I'm just going through the Natty says Stitch Mate. Oh, you mean the software that you're using to chart? I'm not familiar with it. I've got the Mac Stitch. She says my artwork and charted by me. It's an online shop, but I go to conventions and will stock my stuff when I can. Yeah, it's interesting. Did you create the artwork, or did you use sort of AI? Because the styles are kind of quite varied. And Betty says fruit. I can't read Betty's comments. It's a secret code. Fruit flies, Betty. You need to fix your keyboard. And oh, Amanda's got something posted on Facebook as well. Let's have a look. Mine as well while we're here. So Amanda has been battling with parking. Let me see if I can find it. Where are you? Amanda, is it? This is it, isn't it? Am I looking at the right post? Are you parking with this one? So this is Amanda's piece. Did you park with these stitches? And Lona says Natty created the artwork. That's amazing. So this is what Amanda is stitching. I don't see past threads. Okay, I can see it. So you're doing very similar things I'm doing, but you're a lot more disciplined. You didn't park anything underneath, whereas if I don't find anything on the right side, I would park below. But that's very, very neat. Are you enjoying it? And I also noticed Amanda is parking the blue suit way. You actually do the first leg first and then park. That's amazing. So you like it. Are you not tempted to park underneath as well. I would. Because, you know, so the stress all that. That's very nice. Lynn says Yogi Janine is being horrible to the bugs. Let me just find the focus here. It's gone blurry on me. Hello. It doesn't want to focus. Oh, here you go. Oh, Samantha says, has anyone watching the Clancy trial? I am. That's why it's taking up all my YouTube watching time. I'm trying to catch up with the trial. It's a crazy trial, isn't it? Ginny says, no, spiders are cute. They bite. The jumpers jump on you, making you freak out, and then you knock something like you're drinking. It's being dramatic, Ginny. Sola says, I agree, Yogi. The black jumping spiders are cute with their short legs and those two big eyes. I know, so they're actually eyes, are they? They're not fake eyes, just pretending to be cute. Those are their eyes. And they actually recognize people. So they will come to you. They recognize the owners, which is a surprise. I didn't know insects, they actually do that. Lynn says, Yogi, you have got different lights on your work tonight, not so bright. To me, my glasses are clean. No, it should be the same, everyone. Does it look different today? Oh, yes, I want to get back. Sorry, I'm way behind with the comments. Betty says, Yogi, do you know what you will charge for your charge? Yes, I kind of been thinking about it. I'll probably go with kind of the regular market rate. I really don't know. How much do you think I should price them? I don't know. I'm learning from scratch. Okay, guys, I'm gonna put my chart on Etsy shop, but any suggestions? Probably, hopefully over $1, a little bit more, but I'll probably go with, I don't know, heaven and earth price. I really don't know yet. How much is Nutties? Probably use that as a reference. Yes, Nutty, that's amazing. That they're really cute because the styles are quite different. So I'm just wondering how you did it. Water dogs. What are they? And Joy says, just posted my new start. Oh, let's have a look then. Might as well do a little Facebook browse here. Let me see if I can find Joy says. What does it look like? Let's have a look. Facebook is being very annoying. It just doesn't show me based on timeline. Let me see if I can find it. Joyce, have you just posted it? So it's a new piece, is it? Let's have a look. What does it look like, Joyce? Let me see if I can just go through your Facebook account. I can't see it. Let me have a look. Oh, got it. Finally. For some reason, it didn't come up, so I had to go to Joyce's account here. Oh, right. So it's a little bit like the girl with the pearl earring. Does it not look like that? Is it an actual painting? She looks like she looks like that girl in that movie. You know, Scarlett. I kept calling her Scarlett Johansson. It's not Scarlett Johansson, is it? It's Scarlett something. Yes, that reminds me. That's really beautiful. I've never seen this one before. I know the girl with pearl earring. Thank you for sharing that. Oh, is it chocolate time? Sorry. Yes, we can have chocolate. We can have a chocolate. Thank you, Susan. Yes, why don't we have a bit of chocolate break? How's that? And let's review the situation. I think parking kind of works so far. So look at that. I think for me, it was quite freeing to kind of just go everywhere for a while. But after 10 months, I just need a new approach. I want something a little bit more structured. And if I get bored of it, I can go back to stitching like this. But so far, I'm enjoying it. And it gives me a sense of, you know, progression as well, a little bit more. Because a lot of times when you do loose stitches like this, you don't really notice the progress. You know, it takes a little while. But with blocks, you can definitely, you know, it's very tangible, isn't it? So let's have a bit of chocolate. Oh, today I have two options. I have the banana. Let me zoom out a little bit. It looks like a giant banana. And also, finally, guys, I got my act together. Can you hear that? Ooh. Finally, we made contact. We have giant chocolate buttons. It's been a little while since you see them appearing on the stream because I forgot to get these. And finally, we had Amazon delivery today, so we got a couple packets of these ones. So unboxing live, okay, giant chocolate buttons, the symbol of our stream, other than Dolly. There you go. Cuts through the logo. Not very good adverts for them. Here we go. Oh, giant chocolate button. I have not had these for a little while. And they're big. Okay, they're really giant. If you're new to the channel, this is companion for your stitching. If you're in the UK, get these Mountain Zuma's giant chocolate buttons. Cheers, everyone. I'll try not to stain my fabric this time. I'll do my best. No AI for Natty, amazing. And what tool do you use to draw your artwork? I'd like to know. Amanda says, I did park underneath, but the threads got my alley. I don't know what it is because I stitch in hand. You mean Ada? Oh, lovely, lovely chocolate. Let me know where you're snacking. Janine says, it looks darker tonight. Really? Let me have a look. It looks fine on my screen, actually. But the lighting's the same, though. I have not changed it. Let me have a look. See if there's any kind of setting changes that happen by accident. I can't see anything actually, and it actually looks fine on my screen. So it looks darker tonight, is it? Brandy says the whole Clancy situation is sad. I know some people think he did it. Oh, the guy, really? I heard some weird theories. No, I don't think he did it. He being the husband. Brandy says I probably would have as well, but she confessed in multiple ways. How horrible. I just cannot see the possibility that he actually did it and she just decided to confess. I don't know whether you saw the initial when she this lady, the mum, was indicted, and I think there were a few hearings. Probably the first one. If you have seen that clip, you would know it's probably not a husband, because you just look at he was sitting by the side in the courtroom, and he looked totally destroyed. He just looked like he didn't know what to do. So it never occurred to me that he had anything to do with it. He probably felt so guilty about the whole thing. Scarlett Johansson. Yes, I kept calling her Scarlett Johansson for years and years. Susan says move the fabric away. Yes, I know, but I'll do my best, okay? There you go. I'm gonna have another giant chocolate button. Cheers. Barlow says I can't have chocolate time as my son ate the chocolate. Oh dear. But left the empty packet in the fridge, and I didn't know we had run out. He's not home, so I can't beat him up. How old is he? So he basically emptied the packet and left the package inside to give the false impression that you still have a lot of chocolate. I like his style. Yes. If you have decent chocolate, you know, hide them from your kids. Nati says, I use high paint when using digital art. Oh, I'm not familiar with the app. But that's amazing, Nati. Congratulations. Do you know how old the son is? You know, you don't want to be accused of child abuse. And Susan's having Black Forest. Joy says it's a painting by William, I'm not going to attempt to pronounce, and had to Google, can never remember that name. You spelled it, but I can't pronounce it. Okay, I'm going to leave it. Yes, it's not the same painter as the person that painted Girl of the Pearl Earring, is it? Because it's very similar. Rachel says the screen looks the same to me. You may want to brighten your screen or have your eyes checked, because it looks the same from my computer. Because it just had a look. Had a look on the screen. Oh, he's 19 with days numbered. That's hilarious. I love the fact that you know, it reminds me. It's like, you know, when kids try to sneak out in the evening. Not that I've done that, okay? To sneak out in the evening after bedtime, and they just prop the pillows and everything to make it into like a human shape. So when you open the door, you don't realize that the child is not there. It's a little bit like that, the chocolate version of it. Samantha says, I need to run to Aldi and get some good chocolate bars. Yes, definitely. Oh, you need decent chocolate, okay? For chocolate time. I'm going to have one more, and I'm going to come back to stitching. I'm going to be good. I'm going to take one that's chipped, in the corner there. Because these ones, sometimes, I leave them till the last. But I have to be very careful because as I'm holding the chocolate, I can feel it's melting in my hand because it's really warm. It's really good. And I don't need a banana. I'm quite full, actually. I think in the summertime, weather like this, it's very hard to have, to want to eat. So I had a banana just before the string. So I'm pretty full. But Dewey, hello. All right then. Let me come back to this piece here. And so let's say, so luckily my family doesn't like 85% cacao chocolate, nor do they like coffee. Really? Oh, two beautiful things together. And they're not interested. They're weirdos, according to Solas. You said it, I didn't. Yes, that's very unusual. Some people might not like coffee, that's also weird. But not liking chocolate is kind of unusual. All right, then. I'm going to move on to this block here. This block, because this block is quite easygoing. A lot of stitches of the same colors. But this one is a little bit trickier. So I'm going to tackle it stitch by stitch. All right, ninja stitch already. 3A62, and it's a color literally just like any one of these ones. Is a brown. Yes, but one stitch. 3A62. 3A62. I do have one threaded already. Ah, okay. Joy says the girl of pearl earring is French. Oh, okay. So this one is French, and the pearl one is Dutch. Right. It's interesting. And are they from the same era? I wonder. I'm just wondering because they kind of look, kind of similar. Maybe just coincidence. Yes, so like they're the weirdos you love, right? One stitch, and I'm gonna end it. But that's good because no one is gonna steal your coffee and chocolate. It's quite safe. 3A62. Betty says, I don't care for either chocolate. Betty says, I don't drink coffee or tea and don't eat chocolate. Betty, but hubby drinks and eats my share in a while. So what do you like then, snacky wise? Are you more of a savory person? And what do you drink? What's the beverage of your choice? Because tea and coffee, well, I don't drink tea that frequently. I used to drink herbal tea a lot more frequently. I was really into peppermint tea for quite a while. But recent months, I've been drinking coffee. I just love coffee. 3860. 3860. 3860. Badu, he says, I had a non-stitching month, added minimal stitches to my project, not good. So, are you off stitching for a little bit? It happens. Do not feel bad about it, Baduhi. It happens. Maybe you just needed a break, right? But are you back stitching now, or are you still recovering? Recovering. We're talking about it like someone who's having a cold or something. Have you recovered from losing your stitchy bug? Betty says I used to eat some chocolate, but found I think it was causing headaches. Oh, maybe you're allergic to it for some reason. But are we talking about chocolate you're allergic to? That's the question, because if you have regular chocolate bars, not dark chocolate, mostly it's all sugar and whatever else. Very little chocolate. But if you're talking about dark chocolate, maybe you're allergic to chocolate for some reason. My condolences to you. The chocolate is good. And Brandy says, gotta go. Have a wonderful day. And you too. Great to have you. Oh, Betty's more savory girl. Betty says, I like potato chips and flavor water. Flavor water. Wow. Like Ribena. Yeah, some people more savory. To be honest, I'm probably more savory than sweet. But chocolate is probably the only sweet snacks I have. I have more frequently. Mostly, I'm more a savory person as well. Because I'm not really into sort of really sweet things. Because sugar just kind of makes me feel funny, jittery. 152. 152. Or I think I'm running low with 152 for some reason. Lynn says, watch out, Janine. Yogi will say, we are going funny. We are going funny. What have you been doing? What are you and Janine scheming right now? What have I missed? Solar says the headaches may be caused by the corn syrup in a chocolate bar. Really? Is that what they use for chocolate bar? Yes, I think looking into ingredients is pretty scary because you probably go, well, there's nothing I can eat, really. One, two, one, two here. Sola says my dad had allergy to corn syrup. He thought he was allergic to chocolate until he ate one that was sweetened with sugar. No headache. Oh, with normal sugar. Yes. And corn syrup is kind of bad news, isn't it? And Lynn Burgess, hello. Hello, Lynn. Great to see you. And she says, I nearly missed my favorite Sal. Keeping going, Yogi's great piece. Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much. And we'd love to see your update. Lynn's traveling library is so beautiful. Yes, I just have not spent enough time stitching recently. So I'm trying to, you know, organize more time to stitch with you. Because I really love this piece. It's so beautiful. Welcome back, Lona. So 2 stitches here. And where do I go? 1, 2, 3. I'm going to just stitch this one outside the box. Badu, he says, I have not recovered yet. Yogi, another reason, it is so confetti heavy and that's draining to stitch. I feel like I don't make any progress. And Badu, I remember you adding another web, right? So you have 2 webs. Do you not? Or are you pretty much stitching the same one? And I think, well, there are 2 ways you could approach it, right? One is to start adding new start. It will revive your enthusiasm, I think, with stitching, just stitching a brand new piece. Or you could, I don't know how you're going to do it because I don't know what method of stitching that you do. Personally, I don't really have a lot of experience stitching just one piece, okay? When I was the longest period I'm stitching the same piece was when I was working on the craft cupboard, the Gecko Rouge project, the first time around. I stitched probably solidly for about 6 months on that piece. But that piece has a lot going on there. So I could kind of pick and choose what I want to stitch within reason. So I wasn't bored because of that. And but if you're bored with confetti, well, if you stitch a very kind of, you know, strict and orderly manner, when you run into sort of confetti area, or maybe areas you're not very inspired to stitch, you're kind of stuck. That's the problem. But if you have multiple webs that you can switch back and forth, after a while you're going to miss the piece that's challenging to you, because you know, you give it some time. And Lona says, I'm having withdrawn from lack of stitching lately. And she says, but mom takes precedence. Oh, wow. Yes, of course, mom comes first, but you have to look after yourself as well, and make a little bit of time, you know, even just a few stitches. You will lift your spirit, right? And you need to look after yourself as well. You know, have a bit of yogi time every day. 3326. 3326. 3326. Betty says, my phone changes words after my seeing they're correct. I know it's auto correction, it goes crazy sometimes. That's why Betty's Betty's comments are like secret codes, like Morse code, I have to guess. Oh, so mom's coughing, is she? Oh dear. Sending love to mom and you. Wow. And Lynn Burgess says, Yogi, I'll update on Facebook tomorrow. Yes, please do. I'm looking forward to see what you've done recently. And Lynn, just out of curiosity, how many webs have you got ongoing? Is Traveling Library the only one that you're stitching? I mean, the speed you're stitching, you know, I wouldn't be surprised if it's the only project you do, but who knows? Maybe you've got others going on as well. I mean, you made so much progress. And I'm gonna fudge this one because I can. I forgot to stitch this one with the last color. Let me fudge, okay? And I'm going to park it here. It's parkable actually, 28 counts. I kept thinking the stitches are kind of too light and tiny. It's not very easy to park, but it's fine. Ginny says, I have a half a cat and almost the swan dying on Library of Cats. It's coming out great. Oh, Janine is stitching the cat library, isn't it? Yes, I think Janine, and also Aldana as well. Aldana is moving forward really smoothly. I mean, it's amazing. She's kind of stitching one, not a block, but kind of one element at a time. Because it's kind of divided with different colors, like color scheme. It's amazing how fast people stitch. Rachel says, in college, I was a monogamous stitcher. I worked on one dimensions kit for 18 months till I finished it. It was also my only kit at the time, but I only stitched on one at a time back then. I'm trying to recall, because with Maggie, when I was doing dimensions, I wouldn't say one at a time, but at that time, I wasn't just a stitcher, you know, because prior to this rabbit hole, the full coverage rabbit hole, I was dabbling a bit of everything. I was doing cross stitching sometimes, I was doing knitting most of the times, and I would do sewing, I would do all sorts of things. So cross stitching was just one of those things that I did. So with Maggie at that time, I have to say maybe Maggie was the only cross stitching project, but then I was doing all sorts of things. And also at that time, I did not know heaven and earth, okay? I did not know this type of project existed. 604, 604. Rachel says, can you imagine me being monogamous stitcher, Yogi? Well, yes, but at that time, were you a stitcher solely, or were you doing other things? Because if you were like me, I was dabbling with all sorts of crafts. It doesn't matter if I only had one cross stitching project, because I was doing everything else. But nowadays, I mostly stitch. I can't really imagine just stitching one, working on one whip. Okay, I am going to put it over here and park. Janine says, that's what I'm doing, one element at a time. That's how I'm doing my circus piece as well. And that piece, you're doing really well. And I think for me, I don't know if I could do that, because I'll probably get bored of the colors. You know, if it's all red, for instance, I'll probably just get really fatigued, unless you kind of switch, you know, to different projects constantly. I think for me, particularly after the my Gecko Rouge experience, the first time I stitched it, I was pretty much stitching that piece for about 5 to 6 months, and after that I was so sick of it. So, you know, since then I kind of learned that not to overdo, because it's a shame, you know, you might just get really fed up if you're not careful. 894, 894. Betty says, I wonder if Komari changed her handle or something. I don't get notice from her anymore. I don't know. I haven't looked at what she's doing. Lynn probably knows. Is Komari streaming nowadays, or is she having a break? Because it doesn't matter what name she changes. If you're subscribed to her channel, you should get the notification. You shouldn't be affected. So maybe she's having a little break. Sometimes she does. I think she probably just needs a holiday after a crazy amount of stitching for the last couple of weeks, couple of months. It's alien level of stitching. Lovely. I'm transitioning to pink colors. Rachel says, I was in college full-time and working full-time. I was 20. And you're working full-time age 20. Wow. And this was 2005. Online patterns didn't exist. I didn't think the only project I had, I bought a Michael's craft. Yes, at that time, to be honest, all the craft related stuff, you know, when I was doing Dimensions Kid, it was kind of back in 2012-ish, 14. I bought all my stuff at a physical shop, which is quite refreshing. I think I got my Maggie kit maybe at, I'm thinking maybe Liberty, because I love to go to Liberty at that time and just browse the haberdashery section. Well, quite a little bit confetti going on here. Okay, so I'm gonna take a breath. A lot of single stitches or 3 stitches, that kind of stuff. 961, but a lot of beautiful pink colors, which is lovely. 961. Lynn Burgess says, I have around 10 webs, but I'm focused mainly on traveling library. As I stitch in objects, I find I haven't lost my enthusiasm with it. I did 14 months straight on a big cushion. 14 months. Did it take you that long? Because you're moving forward so quickly. Wow. Because I remember the first time I saw your web, took my breath away with the big, you know, the bench, the sofa, and then since then all the updates, you're just moving forward so fast, and it didn't seem to take a lot of time to do. That's amazing. I mean, it's a beautiful piece, and it's wonderful that you're able to focus on it for so long. I mean, it doesn't matter how I love a project. I get fatigued if I spend too much time stitching it. So I have to be very careful. I don't want to get fed up, you know, with these beautiful projects. So for me, changing projects every day works. It works for me. All right, I'm gonna end this one here. Jeanine says, I could never work on one whip. Never ever. It's way back when. And yes, Jeanine, totally. And I think it's because we mostly stitch, right? Jeanine, do you do other craft? I pretty much only stitch nowadays. And if stitching's, you know, the main thing you do, you do need a little bit of variety, don't you? Oh dear, what have I done? in my chart. 1, 2, 3, 3, 7, 1, 2, 3, 7, 1, 2. And I think it's probably healthy to miss a project. You know what I mean? Just like everything else. It's nice to have that feeling that, oh, I really, really want to stitch that piece. If you're stitching every day, you kind of lose that, you know, urge. One, two. Andrea says, I work on one project for a year and a half, a year and a half to get it finished by a certain date, but I'm not doing that again. But I suppose, you know, with a smaller project, you can probably finish it in that time frame. But I think, you know, with pieces like this, regular size, for instance, it probably takes at least you know, even if you're Komari probably takes, well, with supersize, okay, supersize for her is about nearly 3 years. And, you know, she's an alien. So for normal people, it probably take a few years. And I cannot imagine working on the same project for over a year. I don't want to know in some way. Not interested. 1, 2, 3. Amanda says you could download PDF patterns in 2005 because I was. They were harder to find though than they are today. 2005, really? Considering I didn't even know people download patterns alone and kit up the project until COVID time. We're talking 2022. The end of 2022, that's when I learned about Pattern Keeper, the Heaven and Earth. Prior to that, I literally did not know people were doing this and downloading patterns. Because for me, you know, cross-stitch projects, they all come like a whole, like a package with everything. So yeah. I was so intrigued. Lynn says, Yogi, how do I make myself start stitching again? Lynn, how long has it been not stitching? Chat, maybe you can chip in and help Lynn to find the stitchy bug bag. Because I thought you took a break because you had some sort of injury with a hand or something like that. And are you losing interest in some way? Do not worry. We will help you to find your way back. And we have to, you know, give Lynn a hand. I mean, it's hard enough being attacked by Molly on a regular basis. And Lynn really needs the stitching because it's therapy. And where am I? Here. 1, 2. I've done that. Oh, I part over here. Okay. That's why I've kind of got confused. Ginny says, I used to knit a lot, but now I strictly cross stitch. Yes, same here. I mean, I would love to do a little bit more knitting as well, but it's just the bandwidth. I barely have time to stitch. So it's just the time factor. If I had 48 hours a day, maybe there's a chance I'll do some knitting as well. All right, this one, 435, 435. 435. Let me see. 435. There's another one. And 99 Joys. And Sweet Dreams. And Travis says, I was recently asked if I would consider teaching a cross-stitching class at our local craft store. Yeah, go for it. You can show off your, Pokemon piece. They're going to be so shocked. They're going, what are you doing? Is it real? I think, we kind of quite accustomed to people stitching large pieces, but for regular people who've never seen this type of stitching, they're going to be so floored. They're going to go, oh my goodness, that's epic. Yes, you definitely should go for it. Maybe get some freebie as well. If you teach for a craft store, do you get freebies? Maybe some free threads, accessories, some DMC. And Lynn Burgess says, I've been knitting and crocheting as well. I think a lot of us, once upon a time, before we fell into this, black hole, I think a lot of us were knitters. I know. I don't know what it is about this full coverage. It's a totally different game. It sucks you in, doesn't it? And I think, if I were to continue to stitch sort of Maggie dimensions type of pieces, I would have enjoyed it, no problem. But the thing is, though, this way, full coverage has got so much going on there because, with regular cross stitching, you're just doing one stitch at a time, no problem. And because this type of stitching is so, in a way, so challenging if you've never done it before. So you have to be resourceful, you have to try to come up with solutions, and just so much going on there. That's why it's so interesting, because you're learning new things all the time, right? And Betty says, I heard others say to just pick something up and stitch it 30 stitches or 30 minutes daily. Maybe your big bag. It might be your big bag. Yes, Betty's keyboard is broken again, I think. But I get it. Yes, sometimes it's just a matter of not overthinking it. Because sometimes we kind of go, you know, which piece should I be stitching? Do I need to have a plan? What method should I be stitching? And you're quite right, Betty. Sometimes it's just a matter of picking up and just not thinking, because ultimately we're just doing one stitch, you know, one cross at a time. That's it. So maybe just do it. And if you don't enjoy it, put it away and do something else. Andrea says, I have a rotating schedule with my cross stitch and knitting. Thursday on my knitting day. Oh, and I usually have to do a bit of blocking stitch afterward. What's blocking stitch? Wow, that's very disciplined. So Thursday is knitting day. Do you not have Thursdays that you just don't want to knit? You want to stitch instead? I wonder. That's very disciplined. That's nice. 956, 956. The lovely pink 956. Look at this. Oh, it's so pretty. Janine says, I love knitting and did it all the time. Now I have no want to do it. I don't want to do it. All I want to do is cross stitch. I know, it's so involved, isn't it? When I was knitting a lot, if you told me that, you know, in 2 years' time, you're going to be just have no time to knit and you're going to be doing cross stitch, I'll probably go, you're crazy. You know, I enjoyed cross stitching, but not that much. Sola says, when my friends first saw my cross stitch, they thought it was painting, and of course, the men called it knitting. That's hilarious. Yes. They try, don't they? They did their best. Yes, I totally agree with you. I think if you don't look very closely, you know, it looks like painting. So it's perfect, you know, cross stitching. This type of stitching is perfect for stitching artwork, because literally it looks like painting. Lynn Burgess says you have to keep your brain engaged when getting older, otherwise you will lose the ability to learn. Yes, we were just talking about you know, the benefit of stitching the other day. I think any kind of craft is probably good, right? I can imagine knitting is probably quite good because you know, the movements of the hands, and you have to, you know, track your stitching as well and your stitches. But I think, you know, this type of stitching is it's got so much going on. There's pattern recognition, there's counting, and there's, you know, dexterity as well with the hands, and all of that. It's just, you know, it kind of just gets everything going, and I think it's really, really good for you. Because you have to think on your feet. If you have to frog, for instance, that's another challenge. You know, you constantly try to find a solution to what you're doing, and you have to be creative as well. Andrea says, I've got one cross stitch that has 12 pages of pretty much A27. Oh, the color. So I knit, then do block stitches on the piece. Okay, I know what you mean. When you say block stitching is when you have a big patch of the stitches of the same color. Yes. Yeah, it's a good policy. Just, instead of sort of diving in head on, you have to give yourself a break from time to time. If you get fed up with it, do something else and then come back. I tend to do that because my attention span is very kind of split. So I'm able to focus on all things and get them completed, but at the same time, if you know what I mean. So my brain works like, it's almost like claws just go out like that simultaneously. So if I try to force myself to do one thing, I'm able to sit here and stitch with you is because I have the chat to kind of distract me a little bit. If I'm just sitting here stitching on my own, I tend to either watch something or listen to something. If I just sit here quietly and stitch, I probably wouldn't last for about 15 minutes. It's just how my brain works. Even with things I love, I need a little bit of a, diversion in order to stay focused. So, a lot of the time, most of my daily things like admin, when I design class sequences for the yoga classes, a lot of times I'm juggling about 5 different things. I'm doing, my invoices, I'm doing my sequences, and I'm watching something at the same time. So my brain is engaged there. And sometimes I would be stitching at the same time. So not meaningfully, but I knew, well, I kind of just know that if I have more things I can do simultaneously, the more I can focus. I don't know whether that makes sense. Does anybody's brain work like me, or am I weird? Because I understand that some people have shorter attention span. I don't think my attention span is short. My attention span is just kind of split out. So literally I would be doing one thing and move on to the next one without even knowing that I'm doing that. And then I realize, okay, I need to come back to the first thing. And sometimes I do that, like 3 or 4 things at the same time. But I get them done. So it's not like I can't get them done. Eventually I get them done. I just have to do everything at the same time. 3722. So I kind of, indulge my brain to do that. I try not to correct it, quote unquote. I try not to force it to work in a kind of normal way, whatever it is. I just kind of work with it. 3722. Okay, let me have a look. From here, I've got 1 stitch. Samantha says, I like having a variety of fiber arts to do. I love the term fiber arts. Yes. I think I just love working with fabric. I love working with threads. And because, sometimes I go, oh, I love making things, which is partially true because a lot of things, people make like carpentry and stuff, I have no interest whatsoever. I like working with fabric, with soft, like fabric-based things and threads. So I love the term fabric art. Oh, Lynn says, mine does. Are you referring to your brain? And Amanda says, that's how my brain works. I have diagnosed ADHD. Do you think that's ADHD? I don't think I'm ADHD. I don't know what ADHD is supposed to be like. But my brain has always worked like this, so I just learned to work with it. Because sometimes, you know, people can make you feel a little bit guilty because you can't just sit there and do one thing. But you kind of just get used to it. Solar says, I don't like doing one thing at a time as well, Yogi. That's interesting. Do you think people's brain works like this are drawn to this type of stitching? It's a wild theory. I don't know. Reverse engineering. Because I notice a lot of you in the chat kind of express similar things. So I don't feel so weird. Because I think it's a problem if the way my brain works stops me from being functional, from fully functioning. If I kind of not able to complete things, then that's a problem. But the fact is, I can, you know, if I have 10 things to do, I can do them all. I just need to do them all at the same time, or most of them at the same time. But I complete them. A91. Oh, a lot of pretty pinks. A91. Andrea says, I listen to YouTube, audiobooks, or music while stitching. Yes. So a lot of people probably do that when they're stitching, you know, watching or listen to audio. I think the difference is, would you be able to focus on stitching only if you had to? So I think that's, you know, because a lot of people probably do going, you know, I'm stitching with my hands, my audio, my visual, you know, partially free, that I can watch other things. They probably choose to do that. So it's probably not that unusual. The question, the test will be, are you able to do it without? And for me, it would be very difficult. I'll probably get jittery. I'll probably have to walk around in about 10 minutes. So by doing more things, the goal is to ease that kind of need. You know, I basically feel cornered if I have to do just one thing at a time. Does that make sense? It's almost like being claustrophobic. I kind of just go, I don't want to be here. Solar says ADHD, attention deficit disorder with hyperactivity. Yes. The thing is, though, I'm not sure if that's me or maybe just one element. Samantha says, I always have to be working on something. It doesn't matter what. Same here, Amanda. I felt like that as well. Partially because I'm never bored. There are always things I want to do. But at the same time, I'm always doing something. Yes, I'm like that as well. But I always have things to do. So it's not so much that I'm panicking, you know, trying to find something to do. I always have a plan in my head what I'm going to do next. Yes, I'm like that as well. Since I was a kid, I'm always doing something. Yes. I'm glad I'm not alone. And Solar says ADHD is marked mostly by distractibility. It's hard to concentrate on a single thing for an extended period like you do when you have to work. Interesting. I never crossed my mind that I'm ADHD. What else do you need to have? Is it just, does it cover everything, or do you need to meet multiple? Because it could be the fact that my brain kind of works similar to someone who has ADHD, but do you not need more to meet the criteria? I wonder. I never thought about maybe that's a possibility. I'm just so used to being this way. All right, I'm going to park it over here. 1, 2, 3. And that's why, you know, I find yoga so healing, because yoga is probably the only thing. Well, I have to be honest with you, okay? When I'm practicing yoga, if I go to a led class, being, you know, there's a teacher leading me, then I can be there totally focused. I almost do not think about anything else. My mind is totally there. But I have to confess, when I'm doing self-practicing, which I have to do sometimes because I'm so busy. I don't always have time to go to other people's classes. And when I do self-practicing, I do sometimes introduce some distraction as well. I do listen to things. I know it's not supposed to be, you know, it's not a done thing, but it's kind of the only way for me to focus. So when I practice at home, for instance, I will listen to something, you know, to keep things in balance. So my brain doesn't just start to get really sort of restless. Andrea says, I can easily sit and just stitch for hours in silence. Also, too many years of living with power outage. Oh, wow. But that's really good. That means that, you know, if you choose to have distraction, that's by choice. You're not doing it to, you know, try to stay balanced with the attention. That's very different. I'm not able to do that. I don't know. Maybe if I have no choice. Maybe if I have no choice. But I think internally, I probably try to find some distraction. Maybe I start singing or something. You know what I mean? Just to create something else. So I don't have to be just stitch, you know, be there in silence. And it's quite, you know, ironic coming from a yoga teacher. I'm supposed to be the master of concentration, but no, it's not. It doesn't work like that. 3689, 3689. Yes, that's interesting, Amanda. Another part of ADHD is also hyperfocus. I don't know how that manifests itself to be qualified as, you know, part of the condition for ADHD, because I can be quite focused as well, but I just kind of just see that as me just loving doing something and want to do more. I don't know at what point it becomes a condition. Because my dad was like that as well. I always felt like I was taking after my dad. He was really obsessed with things that he loved to do as well. He could just not sleep, not eat, and just keep doing it and talk about it all the time, that kind of stuff. And I can be like that as well. Solar says people with ADHD tend to forget where they put things. Did you have problems with losing your books in school or locating your keys? Actually, no. I never lost my keys, not once. Not once. No, I don't forget my things regularly. I actually don't. Yes, I lost my floss, okay, and occasionally I lose, bits and pieces of things. I still have not found my microphone, my backup microphone, but generally I don't forget my keys or books, not really. Solar says boredom is a choice. Oh, well said. Lynn Burgess says I swim regularly for 1 hour. In that time, I'm thinking and planning things ahead. Swimming is automatic as driving. Well, Lynn, maybe that's why we have double Lynn Burgess. Maybe that's why I find swimming so boring, because swimming is one of those rare activities. You can't really introduce any form of distraction, because when you're swimming, you're in the water, so I can't have headphones on, and I can't look at other things other than swimming, and I find it so tedious. Swimming is one thing I just cannot do. I just feel I'm trapped there. I like to play with water, but that's different. I'm just lounging, by the poolside. But swimming, like a swimming, how do you call it? The length of the pool, for instance, and that I just find mind-numbingly boring. So I tend not to do it. Probably because I know if I do it, I'll have to focus, and I can't. Laurie Clark says, I have annoying dysfunctionality hobby disorder. What is that? Did you just make that up? Are you working in medicine? They just came up with a new condition. And dysfunctional hobby disorder. Well, maybe upgrading, huh? Changing models. Give it a try. Laurie says he drives me crazy sometimes. Annoying dysfunctional ADHD. A new definition of ADHD. It's hilarious. Sola says, I have ADD. What's ADD? I don't realize when I lay something down because I'm distracted by something. I lay my keys or whatever down, so suddenly it seems like the item vanishes. That happens a lot to a lot of people. You just get distracted. People put things that shouldn't be in the fridge, for instance, like a book or something, because they're probably just distracted. I'm actually pretty good with not forgetting things, because day to day I have to carry a lot of things in my bag for work and everything. I'm doing pretty good on that front, so I don't forget random things. Laurie says, I hyper-focus on chores and crafts. Chores, as in you're just so into it? Can you help me out? I'm pretty focused, pretty focused on crafts, but not chores. I try to, put them out of my mind. 3688. 3688. Another pink. Betty says, I'm like that, just obsessed. Hobby says, with cross-stitching and reading. But these are great things, aren't they? Because these are things that we enjoy. I think obsession can be very positive when we're doing things that that's good for us. So let's say it's being hyper-focused with ADHD happens when you're supposed to be focused on something else but get distracted and you become focused on the wrong thing. Right. Wrong thing as in things that you were not meant to be doing. So I think that's why I kind of train myself to focus on all things that I'm supposed to be doing. But they're kind of distracting, providing distraction for each other, if that makes sense. So it's a kind of, you know, a dance. Roxy Wild says, I've never lost my keys, but I have forgotten my freshly made water bottle on the counter. Freshly made water bottle on the counter, where? As in kitchen counter? Yes, a lot of people lose their keys and stuff, get locked out and stuff like that. I don't remember if that happens to me. But then again, I think I do my best to reduce the possibility of things like that happen, because I kind of arrange things in a way that I cannot forget, if you know what I mean, like in my face. So I can't just not see it. So let's say having ADHD while employed is murder. Your bosses are never happy, even when you're trying as hard as you can. Really? Does that mean that it prevents you from doing what you have to do? One, two. Let me have a look. There's just one little one down here. I'm going to just do it. Laurie Clark says, I hear you on swimming. I tend to clean the side of the pool when I'm in. And also I'm a terrible swimmer as well. Probably that's why I'm lack of interest. It's a vicious cycle. And the less I swim, the less likely I become a better swimmer. I just find it profoundly boring. And also I don't like to put my head underwater. So I can do the frog with my head up, but it's terribly slow. I think the speed comes when you're, diving into the water like a fish. And I'm definitely no fish, okay? I don't like the feeling of my face in the water, and I don't know how to breathe properly. So I choke on water a lot. So it's no fun for me, really, swimming. Lona says, back for a bit, rearranging stuff in the living room to move my stitching out to keep an eye on mom. Oh, Lona, you need to find some rest time as well, Lona. You have so much So many, so much responsibility. And your mom is so lucky to have you. A92, A92. And knowing how much Lona enjoys stitching. A92. I love these colors. I was fully expecting to stitch browns, but a lot of beautiful pinks. So Sola, are you a good swimmer? If I do a swim, I go to not the slow lane, because normally if you go to a pool, it's got a fast lane, really normal people swim, people who can swim, they swim there, and there's a slow lane. There's a for people who are a little bit slower, so slower in traffic, but there's also another lane on the side. Okay, that's a children's for kids. Okay, and mom and kids and whatever. That's my lane. That's me. Slow swimming yogi, okay? Or no swimming at all. I normally just, paddle a little bit and just. And also you get really hungry if you go swimming. You get really cold and you get really peckish afterwards. So I'm very lucky. I work, at a lot of gyms as well. So I have access to swimming pool, really good swimming pools. Never use them. Never. I use the sauna quite a lot and other things. Very rarely I go to the swimming pool. Solar says ADD is the same as ADHD, except it's just attention deficit, no hyperactivity. Oh, interesting. So it's a different condition. So it's just attention. I don't think I fit the bill because I don't forget things. Not really. But I'm sure there's probably a wide spectrum, maybe there will be individuals that are full on ADHD or ADD. And maybe some people, they just have a little bit within that spectrum, but not quite there. Maybe that's me. Solar says person with ADHD can't train their brain to not get distracted and focus on the wrong things, etc. Because their brain is not wired that way. It's really bad when you're being paid to do a job. Interesting. I actually never have issues with that. Sort of when I used to work sort of full time at an office. Maybe it's a line of work as well, because I was a designer, so I had probably more freedom in terms of, the way I worked. I wasn't being confined to a method of working. So maybe that helped. And Lona says, Yogi, sometimes ADHD does interfere with ability to do things. I bet it does, because there are a lot of kids, maybe ADHD and undiagnosed, and very often they were being mistaken for maybe being, naughty, or maybe, not very smart, all sorts of labels because, you know, they don't understand that the brain is just different. And I bet, yeah, it will probably interfere things because particularly as a child, if you're told you're just different, you're not able to do what other kids do, it will probably mess you up. Oh, this one is really pretty. 3A01. 3A01. It's a beautiful, beautiful red. 3H. Zero one. Interesting. So let's say ADHD can prevent you from doing what you want to do. However, I got to work from home for 10 years and my performance skyrocketed, no distraction. Interesting. Why is that? Because you're more relaxed and you have, it's more sort of, it's more flexible for you to work in a way that worked for you. Interesting. Travis says, you guys enjoy the rest of the stream. And now Marek has to go to bed. Yes, good night to you and have a rest of the day to you and Marek and the other boy. Names, I'm sorry, I forgot. And Tia as well. The whole family. Ginny says the ceiling's looking really good. It's lovely, isn't it? And I love, it's really surprising what colors I come across because I was stitching a whole bunch of browns and suddenly it's a patch of pink. Really lovely. A little bit confetti, but I don't mind. It's beautiful. Where should I start? 1, 2. Lynn says, Yogi, perhaps that might answer doing more than one whip. I think my friend upset me. She said, why would you want to sew a sewing machine? She said, it was strange. Yes, I remember you mentioned this last time. It's so strange, but why would you mind that? Who cares what your friends think? Seriously, I hope she's a good friend, but it doesn't matter if they don't get it. A lot of people probably don't get it. And I don't understand why she particularly pointed out a sewing machine. Did she not look at the mock-up? It's beautiful. Does she not appreciate the artwork? That's very odd. And you shouldn't mind that, Lynn. You're a strong woman. You know, you got attacked by Molly. You survived. You can survive this. Okay? Have faith. It's a beautiful piece you're stitching. Do not give up. Michelle, hello. Michelle says, hello, Yogi in chat. Not feeling well today, but wanted to pop in to say happy Aimee Saturday. Michelle, what's happening? Sending love and all the healing power to you. And get better soon, for sure. I promise. It will be just fine. Yogi power over to you. It's superpower, you know? And just take it easy and chat if you can. Betty says, I can swim on my back, but turning, I panic. I've always thought the water would be the fault of not being here anymore. Oh, as in drowning? I actually nearly drowned. I still remember I was quite young. I don't think my dad realized I was drowning. I was worrying. What age was I? I must have been really, really young, but I have vivid memory of it because it was so traumatic. And I remember I was in a swimming pool, and I think my mum wasn't around. I think it was my dad took me to the swimming pool, and he was sitting on the side of the swimming pool, just watching me pedal around. I was wearing a rubber ring or something, like that. So I was floating, and for some reason I got stuck. I think my head was below water. I was wearing it. I don't know what happened then, but I knew I was drowning. I was floating on the water, but I was drowning. And I was looking at my dad for help. I don't think I was screaming. I was just, drinking water. I was choking. And my dad, I remember making eye contact with my dad. He looked back at me, but did nothing. He was smiling. He probably thought I was playing. And I was struggling there for ages. And I can't remember what happened then afterwards, but I managed to free myself. I think that was that for me. And so probably that's why I don't have very sort of, warm feelings towards swimming. And I don't like to put my head in the water. I just don't enjoy it. I'm convinced. I'm pretty sure I was drowning at that point. Sola says, when you work from home, you don't have the other employees around you talking on the phone, in Zoom meetings, telling jokes, laughing. Oh, right. So that's the problem. You don't like the noises and distraction from others. Right. So that probably didn't help with the concentration. Interesting. It never bothered me, actually. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's really pretty, isn't it? Michelle says, I haven't worked on traveling library in a long time. I need to give it some love. Yeah, same here. I actually checked, Michelle. The last time I worked on this piece was over a month ago. Seriously, time is a weird thing recently. It just kind of disappeared. I had no idea. Oh, guys, all the remaining stitches here, they're pretty much one stitch at a time. Little separate, little ninja stitches for this block. Oh dear. Okay, let's do it. 2 stitches. 3, 3, 2, 8. 3, 3, 2, 8. I was, I had it easy with this block. This block is mostly the same color. Not this one. 3, 3, 2, 8. Three, 3, 2, 8. 2 stitches. Yes, Sola says it must be terrifying. I still remember it. It probably happened when I was, I don't know, 5. I can't remember what age I was. But I vividly remember drowning so it stays with you. I just remember I was looking to my dad for help, and he just looked back and smiling at me. He didn't realize I was just struggling. So let's say I had the same problem in school. Only the teachers just thought I was lazy. I was in trouble all the time. Yes, I think that happens a lot. Now we know a lot of kids, they probably have the condition. I'm not even sure it's a condition. I think our brain just different. But we, you know, particularly in school system, we kind of assume everybody is the same and expect everybody to learn the same way, to do the same things, to want, you know, identical. It just doesn't work like that. And so if you don't fit in the school system for whatever reason, you know, it could be the concentration, you could be just not interested. I think for me, I kind of forced myself to fit in that system for a little bit, but deep down, I knew that a lot of things that I was learning, well, in my mind, I didn't find them, I just found them totally useless. You know, stuff like history. I know history is interesting and we learn from the past, etc. I get it. But for me, I think for my brain, and this is why everybody's unique, for my brain, if it's not practical, if you give me information that I'm not able to find a use for it, for me, it's useless. So if you teach me how to do something, how to make something, I'm interested because I can use that information and do whatever it is, you know, to create things. So I'm interested. But things like mathematical things and theories, history, for me, that's a big struggle. Because I cannot find any practical uses for them, and that's a problem. So I lose interest because I know that I just don't know what to do with the information. But the school system does not respect that. They expect you to follow the rules and do whatever you do and pass the exams. And that's a nightmare for a lot of kids. Nido says, back from picking up at the train station. Who are you picking up then? Sola says, your dad loved you. I'm positive he thought you were clowning around. Yes, I know. I don't think he was trying to drown me. I like a true crime story. I don't think that was the case. I don't think he knew. And I do not remember whether I told him afterwards. I was so young. I can't remember what happened afterwards. I just remember I managed to free myself. So I probably I didn't say anything. 3328. 3328. Yes, my dad loved me. 3328. Let me have a look. Where are you? Oh, you're picking up your daughter. I hope everything went well. Right. Nearly 12:30 midnight here. I'm going to do one more color here. But this part is taking a little bit more time because there's so many color switches. Beautiful colors, but a lot of color switches. Just look at the chart here. The chart is not refreshing. Good. Yes. Oh, the chat, the screen is frozen again. Let me see if I can unplug this and replug it. Yes, my app view is frozen again. Let's see if we can bring it back. Here we go. Can you see this block? All the remaining stitches, they're all different, like one stitch at a time. Okay, this one has got 2. So why don't I pick this one? 2 stitches. All right, 402. 402. So this is going to be my final color. Just 2 stitches. Oh no, yes, I can park afterwards. Let me bring it over here. And today, I was just, browsing around for some reason, because sometimes I look at yoga content, like watching how other teachers teach, etc. And I was served a few videos from kind of yoga gurus from, well, not so much from the past, but those ones are really well known, like Iyengar, this guy, and a lot of footage back from, I don't know, 70s even, of him teaching people how to do yoga. And it's so weird to watch that because it's so foreign. It's not the kind of yoga that I know. They're practiced in a very, very different way. Almost like a training soldiers. It was a little bit like that. It's like, do this and do it this way. And everybody's kind of just obeying the order. And very different style from modern teaching. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. That's it. That's my last color here. And let me park. I think parking works. Look at this. And right, let's have a look then, guys. I have no idea how many stitches I've done, but you can probably, come up with a rough estimate. When I started this blog, it wasn't from scratch. So this blog was partially already completed. So I've completed this blog and most of this blog as well. So you can do the math. I can probably do the math. Right, let's have a look. Let me zoom out a little bit. So today, this bit is so beautiful, isn't it? It's gorgeous. And this bit is actually gorgeous as well. Just I have not done, haven't done this area yet. So today, slight sort of change of strategy. So up to this point, I was working pretty much sort of long distance, not super long, but longer distance, cross country up to this point. I'm having a good fun. I'll probably go back to that as well. But today I changed the strategy a little bit and started parking here and see how it goes. And I think it works. I can probably keep going. Maybe for the top border, I'm going to do it this way. And then when I get to the bottom row, I maybe start to pick the threads and just stitch all the way. Maybe, until my thread runs out, something like that. So I can have fun with it and, just do whatever I want really. And hopefully, move forward a little bit with this piece. It's so beautiful. And so, guys, let me show you the mock-up. Just in case you have no idea what I'm stitching, this is the piece. I'm at the top, the ceiling, the middle, somewhere there. And, one stitch at a time. It would take a while before I get to the fox. What do you think? How long do you think it's going to take before I get to the book reading, folks? And but I'm patient. I'm patient. And so I'm going to show you my stitch count, okay, the highlight of every stream here. And let's have a look. Yes, love to Michelle, and healing power to you. Is going to get better like now. It's magic, Michelle. So here we go. Let me just turn this off here. And guys, I'm going to share my stitch count with you, okay? Let's have a look. I'm going to count down to 3, 2, and 1. Well, there you go. It's kind of within my estimation, actually. Let's see if the screen is going to refresh. If not, I have to... Oh, there you go. There it is. The grand total of the stitches I have completed is 179. Yeah. Yes, the first block was a little bit easier, but the second block really, took some time. There's a lot of color changes. Quite a lot of them were single stitches, so just the way it is. But I'm very happy to come back to this piece, and really enjoyed it, and we had a great chat as well. And I hope you enjoy your session as well. Thank you so much, Susan and Ginny. Not too shabby, right? Not quite Yomari level. Yomari's at home, probably, having a cup of tea, having a little rest there. But I'm sure Yomari's going to visit Yogi very soon. Maybe the next session, which is going to be tomorrow. No, it's not tomorrow. It's Sunday today. Because we didn't stream yesterday. I kept thinking, no, hang on. It is Sunday. I'm just looking at my clock because it's gone over midnight, so it's Sunday. Yes, tomorrow we're coming back. Yes, today's Saturday. Okay, get the date right. And yes, I lost count the day of the week. So today's Saturday. We've just gone over midnight. It's Sunday technically, but we're coming back for another round of relaxing stitching. And tomorrow, okay, I'll see you here. Pretty much same time, same place. And you know it by now. So from the sleepy London town, Yogi's going to sign out and have a beautiful rest of the day or night, wherever you are. I love you. I'll see you tomorrow. Night night, everyone. Bye bye.